My sister-in-law bribed me to hide her affair with my brother's friend, tried to silence me with threats, but her secret lover appeared and exposed everything. Hey, so I will try to keep this as short as possible. I, 22 years old, female, have an older brother, 26 years old, male, and he has been married to his girlfriend of 2 years for about 6 months. My brother and I do not get along at all and have not been on good terms since high school, when he spread a rumor about me that I was a kleptomaniac and people had to be wary of me. He did this because he was mad at me for telling his then-girlfriend that he had been flirting with another girl who had a biography with him. My brother was a bit of a playboy in high school, and he had a reputation for messing around with multiple girls at a time because he thought that made him look cool. So, when I told his then-girlfriend that he had been cheating on her, she confronted him in the cafeteria, and there was a whole thing that went down where she totally humiliated him in front of all his cronies. He found out somehow that I tattled, and to retaliate, he spread that rumor about me. Of course, everyone believed him because he was 18 and a senior on the varsity football team, and I was just a 14-year-old freshman. He ruined the next couple of years of my life with that rumor because I was already kind of unattractive and dorky in high school with braces, so a rumor like this was the last thing I needed. I got bullied relentlessly for the next 4 years. After my brother graduated, I did not even get to attend prom, homecoming, or any of the other events because nobody wanted to be seen with me. That is how bad the bullying was. I had a couple of friends who were only with me because they had also been bullied, so that was some solace, but still, my brother had totally ruined my high school experience with what he did, and it stayed with me. That kind of bullying is enough to scar anyone for life. The saddest part was that I had not even offered that information to his girlfriend voluntarily. She cornered me after school one day and demanded to know if the other girl had anything to do with my brother, and I just got too intimidated because she was a senior and a lot bigger than me physically. So, I told her the truth. I did not want any trouble, and I also did not want to lie because I felt that both the other girl and his girlfriend deserved better than to be cheated on. If I had known that what I did that day would backfire in the worst possible way, then I probably would have just kept my mouth shut. That was back then. After he started that rumor, I just stopped talking to him. I still had to live with him under the same roof, but that was it, and I tried my very best to avoid conversation with him at any cost. He moved out for college after a few months, but even when he would come back home for the holidays, I would avoid him like the plague. I would not say I went no contact with him after I moved out because that was not possible. Both of us would come back for the holidays, and our parents had instructed us both to be on our best behavior around our relatives, so we tried our best to be civil to each other for our parents' sake. But that is about it. I did not have any intention of attending his wedding either, but my mother told me that it would be really strange if I did not. And my parents care a lot about putting up appearances, so I did as they said. And I think I got lucky that I did because that is how I found out about my sister-in-law's affair. My sister-in-law, Chloe, 28, female, I am using a fake name for her, had been with my brother for 2 years before they got married. They had met through a common friend. She had never been very nice to me whenever we used to meet at holidays and stuff, and would always act stuck up. I did not find that very surprising since she was my brother's girlfriend, so I never made an effort to get to know her either, and neither of us liked the other. On the day of her wedding, about half an hour after the ceremony was over and I had had my lunch, I decided that it was time to leave. At the time, Chloe had told everyone that she was going back to the hotel to change into something more comfortable so she could join in on the celebration, and she had been gone for 10 minutes when I took my leave. On my way to the parking lot, however, I caught her making out with one of my brother's friends, Marcus, in a desolate corner where nobody would be able to see them. Unfortunately, my car was parked a few spots away from where they were standing. I was stunned and did not even know what to say, but then Chloe spotted me and tore away from Marcus as quickly as she could. I was frozen in my place and watched her push Marcus away and tell him to leave. He made a run for it, and she decided to approach me. I did not say a word while she talked to me and explained that while my brother was a wonderful guy and she knew that he would always provide for her, her heart wanted something else. This just meant that my brother was rich enough for her to marry, but Marcus was the one she loved. I was repulsed because I always did look down on gold diggers. But then Chloe requested me to keep this quiet, and she would give me whatever I wanted. Something just clicked at that point, and I decided that I wanted to get back at my brother for everything that he put me through. Had it been someone else that was getting cheated on, I would have definitely spoken up and let them know. But my brother himself had taught me the importance of staying silent sometimes. He had been the one to teach me that just because you know things does not mean you have to say things back in high school. So I told Chloe that I would keep quiet, but only if she would be willing to pay me $1,000 every month. I knew that my brother made a decent amount of money, and Chloe had a somewhat okay income as well, but it was not as much as my brother's. He is a data analyst, and Chloe works at the front desk in a hotel, so they could definitely afford to spare $1,000 for me every month. Chloe had initially been a little resistant, but I reminded her that she herself had told me that she was ready to offer me anything, and I named my price, so the ball was now in her court. She could either agree to my terms and send me the money every month, or I could go and tell my brother everything. I was fine with either. She tried to negotiate, but I put my foot down and refused to back down, so eventually she had to agree. I have been working as an HR representative at a firm after I graduated from college, and I can live nicely. $1,000 is not something I would not be able to do without, but it definitely did help not only financially, but I also felt great knowing that I was getting back at my brother and his wife for being horrible to me. That is the way it had been for the last 6 months. Until last week, when Marcus decided to pay me a visit out of the blue. I could see through the cameras outside that he brought a cake with him to make it look like it was my birthday or something, and I guess that is how he had gotten past security, by saying it was a surprise. I did not trust him at all and was skeptical about letting him into my apartment, so he spoke to me right from outside the door. Apparently, Chloe had finally told him about our little arrangement, and he did not like it. He had come over to talk to me and tell me that I needed to back off. He said that I could not just blackmail Chloe like this and told me that if I tried to get in touch with her again, he would make sure that I would have hell to pay. I was really pissed off and told him to leave me alone, and he did, but only after he reminded me that he was capable of turning my life into a total nightmare if he put his mind to it. He left the cake for me at the door, and it said nothing apart from the word bitch in icing. I hate his guts, but I have got to hand it to him. He does know how to execute theatrics just perfectly. After threatening me, Marcus went away, and I decided to make the call and informed my brother about what Chloe had been up to for God knows how long. I was furious that she had even dared to send someone to threaten me because, as far as I was concerned, I was holding up my end of the deal well and had not breathed a word of what I had caught her doing to anyone at all, and she had had the audacity to let Marcus threaten me. I knew that she knew about Marcus's visit, because after he left, I checked my phone to call her first, but I realized that she had blocked me, which is why I decided to call my brother. Fortunately, he did answer the call, and I told him everything, including the bribes. I said that now he could do whatever he wanted to with that information, and I hung up before he could respond. Then I kept my phone aside and went for a short walk to clear my head. I came back to more than 50 texts and 10 missed calls from Chloe, accusing me of ruining her life. My mother had also called me, and I decided to call her back to understand what exactly was happening. Apparently, my brother had already suspected her of cheating because she had been stupid enough to leave her phone unlocked around him several times, and he had read a couple of texts from Marcus, but they were not suspicious texts, so my brother did not mind it. However, he did question her on why exactly she would speak to Marcus so often, because it is not like they were friends, as far as he knew. She convinced him that they were friends now and that it was all platonic. But today, after I told my brother what was going on behind his back, he confronted Chloe and realized that she had been stringing him along all this while. After he checked her phone, now he is about to file for divorce and is absolutely devastated. My parents are furious with me because I enabled this for 6 whole months and want me to apologize to my brother and return the money to him because it is blackmail money. I do not agree with what they are saying at all because, first of all, I do not even think this is technically blackmail. She is the one who offered to do something for me. I know she probably meant to get me a spa treatment for free at the hotel or something less conspicuous than this, but this is what I wanted, and she agreed to my terms. It was not blackmail, it was just a deal that his wife had struck up with me to keep her secret fair and square. So, I do not understand what they are so up in arms about when it is Chloe they should be mad at right now. On top of that, the expectation that I will apologize to my brother and return the money to him is absolutely ridiculous. I do not owe him either of those, and I am definitely not going to do it. He was a jerk to me and ruined 4 years of my life with his stupid rumor, and I have not been able to get over that still. As for the money, that is between Chloe and me, and since I held up my end of the deal, I think I am definitely entitled to what I got, and I am not paying anyone back. I told my parents I was not doing either of those things, so now they are threatening to cut me out of their lives for good because I have turned into someone they do not recognize anymore. It has been a week, and I have not yet spoken to them, but they remind me every day that what I did was really messed up. But I honestly do not think so. Am I the a-hole for taking bribes from my sister-in-law to hide her affair from my brother because my brother started a rumor about me in high school? So, I did what everyone here suggested, and I decided to go no contact with my family. This incident finally made me realize that my parents were also just as bad as my brother, and I am actually better off without all of them. They just suck and have not ever been nice or kind to me. Everything they used to do was just to make it seem like we were a happy family on the surface, but I know the truth. I know that they never stood up for me and let me get bullied for years without a word because they did not want to get involved. They never reprimanded my brother either for starting the rumor, for the same reason, and dismissed it as normal sibling rivalry when they could see very clearly that he had made me suffer badly. Nobody had bullied him after his girlfriend yelled at him in the cafeteria. It was just one bad day for him. But to retaliate for that one bad day, he ruined 4 years of my life. Even then, I continued to try and act normal around him just for the sake of my parents, because I wanted to be a good daughter to them for some crumbs of affection and validation, but I am not going to get any of that. My brother and I were close growing up and only grew apart when he started high school because he was suddenly too cool for his little sister, and I was too dorky to be seen with him. So, really, my entire family has been nothing but shallow and cruel, and I am actually glad that I am finally done with them. They were never going to love me, and they were never going to change. Even with this incident, they found a scapegoat and tried to make me the bad guy without even caring about why I did what I did. Had they tried to fix things for me back when I was suffering, or intervened and made my brother be a decent freaking person to me, then maybe I would not have done something so extreme and unnecessary to him just for revenge. But they do not care about my past. All they care about is that I ruined my brother's future and his marriage. I am selfish, I am heartless, and I am a criminal, and so much more, but he is just that perfect little boy who, by the way, is in his late 20s. I was foolish to ever expect that my family would be kind to me, and I was an even bigger fool to continue to stay in touch with my brother after what he did to me, just so that my parents would not be mad at me. I should have just cut him off after I moved out for college and let that be the end of whatever little relationship we still had. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining, so I am going to choose to look at the bright side of this. Karma finally got him, and now he is going to experience the pain that he had put so many girls and women through during his high school and college days, just so that he could appear cool and desirable to his other lame guy friends. The cheater finally gets cheated on. Life has come full circle for him. All I am going to do is just grab the popcorn and wait for the drama to unfold because I have earned this. It is not like I am walking away totally empty-handed because my sister-in-law's bribe still covered half of my rent for a couple of months, and it was great while it lasted, so right now I have no regrets to speak of. It has been 2 weeks since I put up my original post, and thank you to everyone who commented, because that did help a lot more than I expected. I mulled over it, stewed about it, and even wept a lot, but finally I did manage to block all my family members everywhere I could. I have also told security not to let any of my family visit me, so there is just no way they can get to me unless I choose to let them. As for Marcus and Chloe, they have pretty much been silent. I have no updates on them, since we do not have any friends in common. I can still get updates on what my family is up to from time to time from a couple of cousins of mine, but I have no clue about them. In a way, it is quite relaxing, since I do not have to worry about anyone now and can just live the way I want to without giving a damn about my parents. I feel a lot less burdened than I used to, and I love this feeling. I do not need any of them back either. Okay, quick update. I just learned that the reason Chloe has been so quiet is because she is pregnant, and things are really messy right now between her and my brother, but my parents are obviously blaming me for it. One of my cousins, who still follows them on Facebook, sent me a post by my dad where he named and shamed me for ruining my brother's marriage over some petty high school grudge. Apparently, it is not my brother's fault that he was cheating back then, and neither is it Chloe's fault that she had been cheating on my brother. It is all somehow my fault. He has posted about what has happened, but has left out all the important details, including the fact that Chloe was the one who had tried to make a deal with me first, and not the other way around. It is not like I caught her with Marcus and then forced her to cough up money every month, or else I would spill the beans. I did not even have that idea until she made an offer. So they really cannot use the term blackmail here. That is literally just ridiculous. My older relatives, my aunts and uncles who are around my parents' age or older, are obviously on their side, because firstly, they do not know my side of the story. Secondly, even if they knew, they would not care because my parents have made it very clear that I am the one at fault here, and I am the one who needs to be put in my place. So, they have taken it upon themselves to send me several texts expressing their disappointment and disgust regarding my actions. They are even saying that they expected better from me, which is just so crazy because literally who even are these people? They only ever used to care about me during the holidays, and even then, our conversations would be strained and weird. I do not consider my extended family close at all, so it is ridiculous that they even expect something from me. They do not even know me well enough to expect anything. Let us start there. And my dad has not put up the story about how I got bullied relentlessly because of my brother's rumor. He has conveniently left that very important detail out and passed that incident off as petty when it really was not. He has no idea how hard those 4 years were for me. I was totally on my own with barely anyone to have my back, be it at school or at home. I will pray that no other kid has to go through something like that. It broke me, and no, I do not think I will ever just get over it. They just want to act like the victims right now and make it seem like everything was my fault, but unfortunately, I am not going to let them get away with it. I posted my side of the story as well, so they cannot control the narrative. It has just been 15 minutes since I posted, and I do not have the nerve to check my notifications right now because I am not prepared for all the hate that I might get. But I know for sure a couple of my friends and some family members will definitely stand by my side on this one. I am just hoping that the positivity outweighs the negativity. Honestly, I am just done with my family. They are literally the human version of a bad migraine, and I cannot wait for this drama to blow over. Hey everybody, so it has been about 3 days since I shared my side of the story, and it got quite popular among people who went to school with my brother and me. Unfortunately, that post also reached another woman from my brother's year, and she publicly dragged my brother for lying to her about his marital status. She had read my post, and then read the post that my dad had posted for context. Since it was a public post, she had been able to find it easily. So, then she put 2 and 2 together and shared that apparently my brother, who was acting so devastated that his wife had cheated on him with his friend, was not too far behind her. About a month ago, this woman had been visiting the city since she had moved out of state after high school ended. My brother replied to one of her stories on Instagram, struck up a conversation with her, and asked her out on a date. They did get intimate as well. Later on, he did not tell her he was married, and he very cleverly used a burner account to text her instead of his real profile, where he had pictures with Chloe. Apparently, he uses that account to stalk women he knows, so at least he is smarter than Chloe. This unsuspecting woman kept her meeting with him a secret for ages, and then when she left, my brother had even promised to keep in touch, but then blocked her everywhere after she went back. It was only now that she found out the whole truth. It was crazy that my brother had done this, but it was not surprising because, after all, a cheater will always remain a cheater. It is just hilarious that he ended up with another one of his kind as well, and now they are caught in divorce and what is going to be a very interesting custody battle because Chloe does not even know who the father of her child is yet. I have obviously been having the time of my life hearing about all that drama that has been going on with them because this was the guy who was extremely cruel to me as a teenager and scarred me for life, and now life was dealing him even worse cards. This is just karma at its best, and it is so damn entertaining for me because I do not care about them now, so I am just watching it all unfold like a real-life soap opera. Looking back on this whole mess, I feel a strange mix of relief, bitterness, and finally, a sense of freedom that's been a long time coming. For years, the pain from what my brother did in high school lingered like a shadow I couldn't shake. Those 4 years of relentless bullying, being called a thief, avoided like I was contagious, missing out on prom, homecoming, everything that makes high school bearable, it broke something in me. I was just a scared 14-year-old kid trying to do the right thing by telling the truth, and in return, he destroyed my confidence, my social life, my trust in people. And the worst part? My parents never really stood up for me. They brushed it off as sibling rivalry, more concerned with keeping up appearances than protecting their daughter from real harm. I spent so long craving their approval, forcing civility during holidays, pretending we were a normal family, all for those rare crumbs of affection that never truly came. When I caught Chloe with Marcus at the wedding, that moment felt like fate handing me a weapon. At first, accepting her bribe wasn't just about the money, though it felt good to take something back after years of losing so much. It was revenge, pure and simple, a way to finally make my brother feel a fraction of the betrayal and humiliation he'd inflicted on me and others. Keeping her secret for 6 months gave me a twisted satisfaction, knowing I was hitting him where it hurt without him even realizing it. But when Marcus showed up with his threats and that pathetic cake, something snapped. I wasn't going to let them intimidate me anymore. Telling my brother everything? It wasn't just anger, it was reclaiming my power, ending the game on my terms. Now, going no contact with my entire family has been heartbreaking in ways I didn't expect. I wept a lot those first weeks mourning the family I wished I had, the one where my parents defended me, where my brother apologized and grew up. But the truth is, they enabled his cruelty back then and scapegoated me now, twisting the narrative to protect their perfect son while painting me as the villain. Hearing about Chloe's pregnancy, my brother's own cheating exposed, the impending divorce and custody mess, it's chaotic. And part of me feels a vindictive thrill watching karma unfold. The playboy who toyed with girls' hearts gets his own heart shattered, the cheater gets cheated on. It's poetic, almost entertaining from afar, like a soap opera I can finally watch without being trapped in it. Yet beneath the schadenfreude, there's healing. Cutting them out lifted a weight I didn't know I was carrying. For the first time, I feel unburdened, free to live without constantly seeking validation from people who never truly saw my pain. I'm not heartless, I'm human, scarred but stronger. I've blocked them, protected my peace, and I'm choosing myself. No regrets, just hope for a future where I build real connections, away from the toxicity. This chapter closed painfully, but it opened the door to something better, a life that's truly mine.